Hi guys, welcome to this KnowMore instructional video about the fit-to-page PowerPoint projects. I'm Lasse Petersen and I am the COO of KnowMore. This video has been created so that you as a specialist can get a better understanding of the project type fit-to-page. In this video I will explain to you what you are expected to deliver when you are on a fit-to-page project. Then I will walk you through a checklist which you are supposed to use on every project to ensure that you will get a high quality rating. Then I'll take you through 3 different examples so you can get a more visual understanding of what high quality actually looks like on these fit-to-page projects. And then in the end I will take you through a list of frequently asked questions. The fit-to-page project type is actually the simplest PowerPoint project that you can encounter on the KnowMore platform. When the task description says fit-to-page, it simply means that you should take the client input and make sure they can fit onto the slide. Sounds pretty simple, right? Well, it is. Furthermore, you're expected to implement the KnowMore guidelines of good PowerPoint practice. If you cannot remember what the KnowMore PowerPoint principles are, then you can check them out in a practice video session. Perhaps just as important as knowing what to deliver on a fit-to-page project is to know what not to deliver on a fit-to-page project. You wouldn't want to spend your precious time and your client's money on doing something that aren't really necessary. So the first thing that you shouldn't deliver is recreated elements. So if you see a picture of a histogram, chart, or figure, then you shouldn't recreate it. You should simply make the picture fit to the page. Secondly, you shouldn't provide any visual enhancements on the slide. So that means that you're not supposed to provide any background picture or insert figures where the empty spaces are, etc. Lastly, you should not use any template for this kind of tasks. All your client's elements are already in the slide, and the only thing necessary is to do some alignment. So all the necessary styling has already been applied to them. Now let's go through the checklist which you can use on all the fit-to-page projects in order to pinpoint minor mistakes that you might have done. This will allow you to correct the mistakes before submitting the projects. This is extremely important because if you have some of these mistakes when you submit the project, it will hurt your rating. So the first point of the checklist is whether the content actually fits onto the slides. It's probably the most easy one to check, but we actually do see that this is not the case always with specialists. So make sure that it does fit. The second one is whether the peripheral elements align with the header. So basically that just means the elements to the far left and the far right, do they align with the headers? And the third one is whether the elements inside of the slides are aligned in a pleasant way with each other. So does it actually look good? Are there additional elements which need to be aligned within the slide? Also make sure to check that. The fourth point is whether the client's information can be read properly. We actually see this quite a substantial number of times where several elements are clustered on top of each other, so no one can read the client's information without correcting this yourself. And the fifth point is whether you have taken care of all the client stickers. The client might have some specific stickers with information and something you should be aware of or take care of, so be sure to take care of those also. Now let's go through the 3 examples so you can get a visual sense of the fit-to-page task. So here in the first example, it's a pretty typical input from a client where the slide is a complete mess. A lot of content are off the slide and the H1 elements are not aligned, and the content within the slide are not aligned, and some of the contents are even overlapping. So overall it's just a complete mess. Now let's see what the specialist has actually done with this slide. So first off, we can see that he has made the font size a little bit smaller in order for all the content to fit on the slide. You can also see that it is perfectly aligned with the header element and also within the slide. And you can also see that the H2s are really nicely aligned with each other and also with the content below them. Okay, let's take a look at another example. So here we have a slide which is also just a complete mess. We have a navigation element on the left side which needs to be incorporated, and the content isn't really aligned with the H1 element or with each other inside of the slide, and there are multiple issues here. Okay, let's see how the specialist has handled this project. So firstly, the navigation element has been incorporated really nicely and it's aligned with the header element. Secondly, you can see that all the top elements of the histograms are all aligned and their headers are aligned with each other and they're also the same size. Furthermore, you can see how the legend has been put nicely on the top corner of the slide. And you can also see how the histograms are aligned nicely with each other and with the headers at the same time. On a final note, you can also see how there have been kept some space between all the elements. It's actually really easy to see and read and understand the histograms. It's really important that there are kept like a minimum amount of space between the elements, so it makes it more readable. Okay, so let's just for a third example imagine that our client would like to have both of these previous two slides incorporated on the same slide. Like, is that even possible? It could very well be an assignment from a client. So you as a specialist and as a PowerPoint expert, you might think that this is actually absolutely ridiculous. Like, why would you ever put these two slides into the same slide? It's way too much content. However, the client has asked for it and we gotta do it. So let's see how it turned out. So by decreasing the font size to around 6, the specialist was actually able to fit both slides into the page. So of course it's debatable whether it's appropriate to keep it on one slide, but if you really feel that the client would be happier with two slides, then feel free to add a secondary option where the slides are kept separately. Just make sure you keep both versions so the client have the ability to choose between them. Okay, let's talk about some frequently asked questions that we get from specialists on these kind of projects. So the first project might be, why are there no template assigned to the project? And the answer is that there are no templates since the content already comes in one. So it will have everything you need. The next question is, what if I made some assumptions which are based on my gut instinct and I've actually changed something on the slide? Well, if you really feel that something should be changed and you're really convinced about it, well, then just simply add a yellow sticker with information and let us know that there's something you have changed. And third question, what should you do with think cell elements? Well, think cell elements must be treated just like any other elements. They're no different. They should just simply be fitted to the slide. The fourth question is, what do you do if the elements does not fit? Well, first you try to reduce the font size, and you reduce it even if you have to reduce it a lot. And if you think it looks silly, then you can provide a secondary option where you will make multiple slides instead. And then the client will have to choose whether he would like it on one page or he would like it on multiple pages. And then the last question is, what do you do if the pictures are too large and cannot be fitted? Well, one golden rule that there are according to pictures are, you must always make sure that they are not distorted. You must keep the weight and height ratio the same at all times. But if you cannot do that and the picture can still not be fitted, then you can chop the picture. But if you chop the picture, add a yellow sticker, write a comment about it, and add it as a secondary option, always. That way we can have a look at it and the clients can very easily tell us which one he would like. That's all for the instructional video. Enjoy your future projects and see you next time.